Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tuesday's Market SITREP here at TGO. I'm Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz. This is Top Gun Options, and finally thawing out from a long weekend up in Pittsburgh. Was up there with my middle son Jack for a hockey tournament. Man, we got dumped on, and it was cold. We had a good time sledding, though, and a good time playing hockey, but it is time to get back to work. Hey, it really does look like, as I predicted, man, going through this 50-day moving average, I think we're going to get pulled back down to it. A lot of reports, no more. A couple other big names, especially over in Davos, thinking we're going to head back to maybe these December lows and retest them. We're going to talk about all of those issues and why, including China trade, the Iran deal, tech earnings, industrial earnings, retail earnings that are on top, everything. We're going to cover this Thursday, January 24th at 1 p.m., and it's going to be on me. I'll spot you a free seat here. All you need to do is head to go.topgunoptions.com/brief, and that's exactly what we do. I'm getting ready to give a live trade brief today at 1 o'clock for my weekly options and primary live trade brief members. But on Thursday, I'm going to open it up to the public. So you're going to join our regular members, man. We're going to treat you like you're already a squadron mate here at Top Gun Options. And just for signing up, just for registering, I'm going to give you our 7-step trade plan, which is a must-read before you attend the session, and then also a copy of our OPCL, the Options Pocket Checklist. There's, what's that, 90 bucks? There's 90 bucks, 50, do the math, on me just for coming and attending, okay? Like I said, Thursday, January 24th at 1. Head to go.topgunoptions.com/brief. Okay, why are we finally rolling over here? Well, first of all, folks, markets don't do this. I know that they did that, but this was not institutional buying. This was a little bit of a FOMO, fear of missing out rally of retail investors. Now that the Dow's down 300 points, you're going to get a dose of reality. I called this last week. I said this is a bear trap. Look at the overall S&P 500. Anybody see a trend here? It's down. There ain't good news out there, folks. Over the weekend, the IMF, not the Tom Cruise IMF, but the International Monetary Forum did what? We got a global slowdown, and there's a lot of heavies that all the beautiful people flew over to Davos to compliment each other on how good-looking and rich they are, and they're all a little bit worried about a 2019 recession for a lot of reasons, folks. Poor economic performance out of Europe, Germany especially, and I think they slammed around Italy as well. But one of the best destinations that we've had that's really been paying off for us, the best house in a bad neighborhood, is the Trump of the tropics down there in Brazil. We have a nice little couple trades working on Brazil. It's holding up there. Really liking what's going on. I sent this out as a trade alert on Friday to my members, and I think that's a good-looking trade. Let's talk China. Not only did the IMF say, hey, the world's slowing down, China came out with the slowest growth rate since 1990. I think, what was the GDP print? Like a 6.4. Man, this is turning into an absolute train wreck. Take a look at what happened last week, folks. What happened last week? We had a rip-your-face-off rally based on what? Towards the end of the week, stocks jumped to session highs as the report says China may offer a way to eliminate U.S. trade imbalance. Steve Mnuchin had no comment, and we're looking for a way to get this all over with. And then today, folks, this is a very tactical market with things shift in a minute. Literally, look at today. Headline now, The Independent. Trump administration pessimistic about striking a trade deal with China. White House. What does it say? Hold on. We had rip-your-face-off rallies last week on a trade deal, and now we don't. Now the Dow's down 300 points on global growth fears, no trade deal with China. There's a lot going on, folks. And guess what? Like I said, we haven't even hit tech and industrial earnings yet. Keep in mind what happened last earnings period, folks. JP Morgan, Target, CSX, you name the company, they reported disgusting earnings last quarter, Q3 earnings. And what happened? We imploded. Reporting kind of lukewarm earnings. The banks weren't super hot, folks. They actually, in my opinion, sucked. Remember, if here's what Wall Street companies do. If you can't hit the ball over the net, what do? They lower the net. So the net was super low, and the ball barely dribbled over it. So stupid people, hey, the bank earnings weren't that bad. I'm like, they were awful. But anyway, this is just, it's not good out there, folks. Industrial earnings are coming. We got retail, we got tech, and I just don't think they're going to be that good. The only tech, non-tech that I think is going to have good earnings is Amazon, obviously. So here we go, man. Investors go from overly optimistic to sort of pessimistic. This is a big canary in the coal mine for me. You ready for this? Investors' dash for cash adds to stock market's vulnerability. What happened in December? Cash holdings and investment portfolios went through the roof, raising doubts about recent rebound. What's that mean? Hey, and by the way, folks, let me remind you, cash is a position. Cash is a trade. It's worth what it's worth, right? And until Obama broke the buck, that's a different, don't worry about it. But cash is a position. If the market ain't doing what you think it should be doing, you should sit on your hands. That's what I'm starting to do a little bit now. But now that the market's turning, as I predicted, we're ready to pound this thing into the dirt. We got short FXI last week. That's the iShares China ETF. And I told everybody to kind of do the Braveheart hold, right? Wiz, this trade's underwater. I'm like, the reason we got into it is because when the PBOC, the People's Bank of China, jumps in the pool to save capitalism, there's a short-term sugar high, yay, liquidity. And then the market goes, wait a minute. If they're jumping in to save capitalism, we're in a lot of trouble, and the thing ends up imploding. This has been like, you can set your watch to this, or calendar, actually. We've been doing this since then, man. The FXI is down 17% since we've been pounding it into the dirt, folks, and it's going lower. I don't see any... that's what was funny last week. Oh, hopes of a trade deal. I'm like, that's physically impossible. I mean, if Trump comes out and says, hey, we have a deal with China, that's physically impossible. 2 weeks ago was the Deputy Trade Secretary meeting with people, and they didn't even come out with an announcement. They couldn't even announce that maybe, our commanding officers will meet next time around. So the rumors of a trade deal last week were really stupid, and that's why Steve Mnuchin's like, no comment. He didn't say, hey, it ain't in the works, but he didn't say, yay. And now everything's rolling over today, as we predicted. So investors' dash for cash is not a good sign. No More today came out with a report. Stocks are going to begin their recorrection and watch out below 2,600. They're saying we go back to these December lows. I don't disagree with them. Here's another canary in the coal mine. If investors are really moving to cash, what else are they doing? They ain't buying homes. Existing home sales crash. I predicted this or talked about it 3 months ago. Once Dallas, right now, throw a dart in the middle of the United States. There's Dallas. So goes Dallas, so goes the rest of the country. Their housing market is absolutely imploded. San Francisco is even starting to roll over. San Fran feces. So a lot going on, man. Traders wish for volatility. The fourth quarter wasn't what they had in mind. They got it. We saw all the Wall Street banks last week report that they weren't the smartest people in the room, right? Jamie Dimon, even on the earnings call, kind of dismissed the whole, I don't care how my trading division did. Well, one of the reasons you made money was because of a lower effective corporate tax rate. Thank you, Donald Trump. But more importantly, higher interest rates. Well, guess what happens, folks? This year, if the Fed don't raise interest rates, the banks are going to suck. So you got to know what's going on here. And I got to be honest with you. So people are frothing at the mouth for a trade deal. Let's say Trump does get a trade deal done, right? Oh my God, that's going to be a rip-your-face-off rally. The economy's going to come back and be booming. What happens if the market has a rip-your-face-off rally and the economy's going to be booming? Wait a minute, that means the Fed's going to get back to raising interest rates. There you go. What if we don't get a trade deal done and the economy continues to slow down and this government shutdown keeps dragging on? We're going to implode. So we're really in a damned if we do, damned if we don't situation. You got to be hedged. You got to know how to trade this market and to dogfight it. And it's been interesting to say the least. It's been fun. I've had a couple swings and a miss lately, but thankfully we've been doing some good work in some other areas. Like for example, CME. CME is looking very, very nice. We have a good iron condor on this. We have a bull put spread, bear call spread. We closed the bear call spread last week for a nice profit. Really good looking trades out of CME, and I expect them to report blowout earnings. Also CSX had a nice, look at this, man, nice run. Look at that right after earnings. Huge pop out of CSX. That's one of our Jan 21 long positions. Really, really nice move out of CSX. We're going to start looking to sell some upside calls to bring in a little coin, as well as maybe some, we might throw in an iron condor on the CSX here too as well. So like I said, a lot going on here. That's why I'm going to open the doors on Thursday. You can join our regular Thursday live trade brief and see what our members are seeing. Dow's at the lows of the day, down at about 322. Look out below. Is the all clear sounded? Buy, more pain, sell. Actually, if we trade options, both. we can pound this thing into the dirt. We can jump on board for the big rally, or if it trades sideways, we can throw in iron condors, okay? And I'll teach you how to, or to talk about all the stuff, and then once you get on board, we're going to teach you how to do all of that stuff, okay? This Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern, head to go.topgunoptions.com/brief, and I will see you there. I'll see the rest of you guys at 1 o'clock today. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and God bless.